Intel Arc GPU driver now supports Lunar Lake Core Ultra 200 volts with Arc 140 volts and 130 volts 2 iGPUs. Intel's Lunar Lake Core Ultra 200 volts CPUs now receive first driver support for their Arc 140 volts and Arc 130 volts 2 iGPUs. Intel Arc 130 volts and Arc 140 volts 2 iGPUs for Lunar Lake Core Ultra 200 volts CPUs receive support in 32.0.101.5972 drivers. Intel released a brand new Intel Arc and Iris graphics driver on 23 August, adding support for Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 and various optimizations for Intel-based systems. What went unnoticed is the fact that Intel also added support for new hardware in the GPU driver v32.0.101.5972. The driver now officially supports two based Intel Arc 130 volts and Arc 140 volts graphics that come with the upcoming Lunar Lake chips. This means Intel has officially provided support for the Arc 140 volts and Arc 130 volts iGPUs for stable and optimized performance. However, the product list still has upcoming Lunar Lake Core Ultra 200 volts chips missing, which should be coming very soon as we approach the launch date in the first week of September. Intel Arc 140 volts and Arc 130 volts are part of the Lunar Lake chips based on this 2LPG architecture, but it's the first time the official names for these iGPUs have been confirmed by Intel itself. The Lunar Lake processors are aimed at power-efficient mobile platforms and supposedly offer a total of 9 SKUs, all of them featuring a configuration of 8 cores and 8 threads. The key differences between the SKUs are the varying specs like clock speed, cache memory, iGPU, and iGPU clock speeds. The Intel Arc 130 volts will be part of the lower-end and mid-range Lunar Lake CPUs such as the Core Ultra 5 200 volts chips. The Arc 140 volts will be available on Core Ultra 7 and Ultra 9 200 volts processors. Different SKUs will have different clock speeds for these iGPUs, and the max number of 2 cores to be expected is 8 on the Arcade 140 volts. This iGPU will be the most powerful on the flagship Core Ultra 9 288 volts, featuring a clock speed of 2.05 GHz. The Arc 130 volts, on the other hand, will feature 7's 2 cores and features 1.85 GHz on all the Core Ultra 5 SKUs. The Arc 140 volts will vary in clock speeds from 1.95 GHz to 2.05 GHz based on the SKU. Right now we have plenty of leaked benchmarks for the Lunar Lake chips, but just recently, we got a glimpse of the performance of Intel Arc 140 volts on Geekbench. Expect more such leaks to surface on the internet until the official launch on 3 September.